My focus in photography has been fine art photography, dealing with, the body, faces, textures, that type of thing. So when I was invited to show at the Island Art Gallery, I sat down and I tried to think about what I wanted to say, and that led me to choose the pieces that you see. So Leslie and I sat down and we thought about the term ungated. And it's all about expressing ourselves and pushing the boundaries a little bit more. I push the boundaries in terms of what I am known for and what I like to shoot. I'm very much into shooting figure studies, portraiture, form. I'm much into textures. I also reference a lot of spirituality and mythology in my work, so that in planning the work, I selected models that I thought represented what I wanted to present. After I had done the initial work of taking the photographs, I looked at them and I worked towards the expressions I wanted to make. We would like the young artists to think that they can produce art that they feel comfortable with, that they're able to express themselves the way they see fit. Normally Barbados is a conservative society. However, it's a very educated society. Therefore, I would expect that the audience out there could understand the expression of an artist. So I would say to a young person that they should go ahead and try to express themselves. The theme of the exhibition was Ungated, and it was about expressing yourself and moving forward, basically. Janus, which is the god of the gateway, which is how you get January, that is how we came up with the name Ungated. I thought that I wanted to express some pieces that talked about moving forward and looking at maybe where we've been and how we can move forward. Because when you think of Janus, there is a head looking back and a head looking forward. So the history is important in determining where you're going to go. Sacrifice, for example, suggests that we're talking about the sacrifices that the people in the past or ancestors might have made, such as slavery, or it doesn't even have to be slavery, it could be anything, right? But that's what that speaks about. And if you look at the piece, you'll see that there are areas of red amongst mostly black, and the red obviously signifies blood and sacrifice. And sacrifice you can look at in two ways. Sacrifice can be what we sacrificed before, and also what we might have to sacrifice in the future, right? So that's how this piece came around. Portending speaks to the fact that in Barbadian society, it's very big about warning and worry about what's going to happen and what the future will mean, right? Branching speaks to the idea of progression, right? Moving forward again, right? So that when you think about portending or worrying or warning, that's almost an old way of thinking. And I think we have to take away some of the worry that we have about the future and sort of learn from the past and move forward, branch out, keep going. So that when you were asking me about the junior people, the younger people before, I would say branch, go. If you need to go away for a bit, go away for a bit. If you need to explore something, explore it. But don't let the warnings of the past hinder you. So this piece is a lot about that.
For me, it's very much of a personal journey with the subjects, and I don't like to explain too much my work because I prefer if the person, the viewer, actually interacts with my work, and what they pull out of it, the connection that they get, that is the success of the image to me. For this exhibition, because of the cohesiveness that we wanted to create, Adrian and myself, his images, his figure studies, they're beautiful, they're very strong, and mine, with the vividness of the colors, I thought made a lovely contrast. So I tried to choose images that, of course, are West Indian, and these images are all West Indian. Most of them are shot in Barbados. There's a few that are shot in St. Lucia, like these two here, with the ballasts, ballast 2 and ballast 3. And my hope is that the viewer will make a connection with the work. And when I see someone walk by and stop, and their expression changes into something more deeper, more introspective, I've succeeded. And then hopefully I've succeeded even more if they take it home. The majority of my buyers are foreigners. They don't come from Barbados originally. They're not Bajans, right? They're more North Americans, Europeans. And I think it's exposure, because we don't, or rather we haven't had as many shows of contemporary art, that now that it's starting to happen, like with our exhibition here today, and which continues until February 5th, that you're going to see more frequency of these shows, because it's up to the galleries and the artists to push their work, and it's important to do that. And I think the more that we do have a local audience, a West Indian audience, at least within Barbados, and photography, as far as that goes, color as well as black and white, that you're going to see an increase and an improvement, not only in the awareness, but of the appreciation. And it is adorning people's homes, but it would be nice if it would adorn their homes more here than overseas. And the overseas people are taking our local beauty to adorn their walls. If we step back and think a minute that beauty isn't just from overseas, it is within, not only within our own environment, but within us as a people.
Most people are very excited about the show. Most people commented that the display that they have been seeing is really bridging the gap between photography and visual art. And this is actually the same reason why I chose Leslie Taylor and Adrian Richard as my two photographers for this photography show. Now, they've been working together, each on their side, but with the theme Ungated, and which means actually that it was some kind of a liberation. They tried to work outside of the box or outside of the beaten path. Now, I'm very happy with the turnout. We have a splendid turnout tonight. We have a good mixture between Barbadians and visitors that came earlier and were interested with what they were seeing and decided to come back tonight, so it's very exciting. The creative arts is not a sure pay, but it definitely can, you can come, you can actually live from your art. It is a challenge. It requires for you to be creative, to reassess yourself all the time. And I think that young people, these are the qualities that they possess, because they're at a young stage in their life. They have a dream for adventure, and I think that creative professions really would give that notion of adventure, of being able to think out of the box or to live a different kind of lifestyle, than the one that people live normally. I would certainly encourage young people to give it a try if they have the feeling, or if they have, if they feel that they have a talent. Definitely go for it.